What's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. Let me tell you something. If you have ever had one of these or even seen one of these, then there's a pretty good damn chance you've either had or seen one of these crappy sheath. However, this little guy right here, the Schrade Skinner, is awesome. This is one of those knives that you've probably seen in Walmart or at some flea market or just somewhere, and you thought for the price it is, which is I believe sub 20, this can't be any good. Well, let me tell you something. You see how pretty this is? I've had this now for about, I don't know, maybe 10 years, and I had another one before it that I lost, and that's the only reason I got this one. Not because I ruined the other one, but just because I lost it. This thing it's about 7 1/8 overall, I think, and from here to tip it's roughly 3 1/2, but total blade length is like 3 3/4. But it's not about this part of the blade that matters. It's all about here. Now, before we talk about the blade, let's talk about this grip. Just like that crappy old timer buoy that I gave you guys, this little old timer Skinner, and that's what it is. You see, old timer. Same exact handle material, same little pin that I ended up losing on the other one. I haven't lost one out of here yet, but we'll soon find out. Does have a lanyard hole, and like the I gotta kill this carpenter ant real quick. Like the what do you call it, the Hen and Rooster HR001 drop point skinning knife that I gave you guys. This one right here is a great thick handle, and a thick handle makes it really nice to hold. It's comfortable. You put it in the hand and it takes up the hand. Now, there's no jimping, no choil, but it doesn't need a choil, especially because of this right here. This little drop angle, when you're talking, and this is a reason that they needed the handle so thick, is because right here is so thin. And normally if you have a handle that's that thin, it's going to be bothersome to hold. Not this one, because of the overall girth. But this little thumb hold right here, this little swell, holy crap, or it's a ramp actually, is really nice. The blade is nice and thick. The tip is really thin. It is a saber grind, I believe, or is it a hollow grind? No, maybe it's a hollow grind. But I'll tell you what, it's really good. Fit and finish is okay. I know, right? Let's see, right there, you got a little crappy spot. Is it going to change anything? No. The overall grind angles are actually pretty good. The edge profile is what it's called, but that's really good. I don't know, there's not much I can say in the description because it's this big and there's not much on it. But as far as skinning, now with the saddle mount and the Skinner, they have the jimping way to the front. You have to stretch to reach it. For that, you don't. This is absolute proof that you don't need to put jimping in the front, because you're going to get all the grip you need just by pressing your thumb on here. Now, it's near 90. And it's supposed to be 90, but sometimes they feel like they're a little bit smooth. So catching spark is possible, but it's not going to be definite. However, it's a Skinner, and this is not the size of a knife that you're going to use as survival, so who gives a shit? The little brass pins do a good job holding in the scales. I've never had scales loosen on one of these, and that's a good thing. This is only the second one I've ever owned, and I got my first one. Let's see, how old am I now? So I got my first one like 75 years ago, and they hold up. If I never lost the first one, I would never have this one, because I would still have the other freaking Skinner. When I saw it as a kid, I remember my buddy Eric Batchelor, his mother's boyfriend, who's Bob Lively, Big Bob. Bob had one of these, and I freaking loved it. And I said, oh my God, one day I'm going to have that. I mean, when you're a kid, a $20 knife all of a sudden looks like the greatest thing on earth, right? But I had to have one. I got one at a young age, and I had that thing for years, and I replaced it because it's really that good. It's just stainless steel. There's nothing special about the steel. The edge does hold up. Sometimes you have to hit it with a whetstone, but who cares? It's it does exactly what you need to do. I use it for basic cutting. Basic cutting needs, and I've used it for years doing basic cutting needs, and basically it cuts. So it's definitely done the job I expected of it, but we're gonna see what kind of jobs it can do together. So let's go test this out. All right, so in the 735 years I've owned one of these, I've never actually taken it to a tin can, so let's take it to a tin can. And well, it took pretty well. I'm missing some can. Yeah, good little Skinner. All right, so let's do some drops. Now with the funky shape, I've never just held it and done a drop before with this. All the years I've owned one, I've never done it. So I don't know how it's gonna go, but we'll find out. So this thing stuck in because of that, because I believe it is a hollow grind, because of that very thin tip, it bit in pretty well. I think you guys can see this. But it laid down almost sideways, and because of this swept up blade on this clip point, it literally was able to hold in sideways. That is pretty crazy. I gotta kill another one of these carpenter ants. Oh man, these guys are all over the place. So let's I want to do that one more time and see if I can get it to fall straighter and dead straight. I mean dead straight. So can it do it? Yeah. Oh, am I gonna pry with this? No, it's just a cheap stainless steel. It's not made for superior strength. It's made for superior cutting, which it does. So no prying, but we're gonna see. Well, you know, it's really thin. I figured the bite was gonna be enough to shift that log, but it literally just pulled right out. Yeah, so here we have the tip. You can see how thin that is up top, and it's so thin here that it's going into the wood, and the path it's making is the same width as the blade, obviously, but there's not much for it to pinch onto, so it's literally just pulling out. What that means is it's giving me a really, really nice, tight little laceration, right? It's going straight through. It's making a perfect little hole there. So not bad, not bad. I'll take that. Let's keep going. All right, so I found me a little stick to play with here, and we're gonna skin it. Gonna skin it. So I noticed that as I cut through, even with the knots, this thing cruises right through. I mean, I've done this kind of thing a lot with this knife, so I'm not surprised. If you guys have never seen one, then maybe you will be. But I happen to know firsthand how this thing is going to perform, because I've performed with it for a long time. I don't know if you can see these, they're like flaking all over me, but this is why. Look how thin that is. These little feathers with this blade, I mean, look at this. That's all day, every day. Sweet, fine little feather sticking. Let's give it a little notch. Let's see what we have here. And no problem. It's so sharp and so fine of an edge that precision cutting is made very, very easy with this. I mean, it's a little tiny knife. What can we do with it? We're not going to do a ton of chopping, things like that. I can show you that it shaves bark. What we can do is we can go through some thick cardboard and show you the skinning knife as a skinner, and then maybe we can chuck it. So let's go do that. All right, so here we are. Sharpness test. I'll tell you what, that's better than some little tiny piece of paper that a lot of these guys are doing. I mean, this thing is sharp. It is sharp, sharp, sharp. But when we skin, we don't do that. We do this, right? We take our little finger, we put it here, and we zip, and it is no problem. I mean, if you need something cheap that'll skin, and you want a classic especially, this little guy right here, the Old Timer from Schrade, this skinner is one of my all-time favorites. It is pretty ridiculous. I mean, I could spend a little bit more money like on my Condor. I haven't brought it to you guys yet. I will. My Condor is just amazing. I have another buck that I have to bring you, a skinner in this style, that is phenomenal. But there's something about this classic right here that you see this in a Walmart and it just makes you want to have it. It's just such a good little knife, and it's been a good little knife for ever. I don't know, you know, I think Adam and Eve, they, you know, that's how they defended themselves under that tree with the snake. You know, they cut down the fruit and then the snake came and they fought it off. It's in the Bible, it's in the small print, you can't miss it. This is what they used. It's been around forever. This thing is just amazing. So all I really want to do now is go see if we can actually throw this thing. And P.S. I've done it before, so I know we can. All right, guys, here we are. It's knife throwing time. Let's see what we can get here. Oh, all right. So when I told you that I've thrown this before plenty of times, I have. I threw my old one, and maybe the old one is made different. Maybe it's made better. Maybe something. But I didn't miss because I didn't hit the tip. I hit the tip, and the tip came off. Holy shit, guys. I don't know if maybe they're made differently than they used to be made. Maybe they were made better before. My old one, I put that thing through the freaking trenches, and this never happened. Holy crap. So now I still have an edge, but now I have like this little notch. I might actually get out a file and make that a little bit more compressed, and now it just gives you different angles. Still and I'm glad it broke the way it did, because this is still very usable. It's actually almost more like a custom style blade now. I mean, you look at that. I'm going to file that and probably polish it and make it look really nice. Instead of chucking this into the woods like I would normally do. This thing has held on, but I can't freaking believe I broke the tip off of one of these. That's never freaking happened. So you know what that means, right? Well, we got to throw it again. So I'm either going to break the rest of this fucker off. Oh my gosh. All right, well, we hit the tip. The problem is I hit the tip full on in that round spot, but you know, I can't quit. So I got to try at least one more time. One more time. All right. So, holy shit. Even with no tip, I give up, guys. I fucking give up. With no tip, this thing still went into a piece of wood. How badass is this knife? You can break off the freaking pointy end and still make it stick in the pointy end. That's crazy. But now what we have to do is we have to go back to the cardboard and skin again, because I have to show you that there's knives built just like this, like with this kind of upsweep right here, and they're done so on purpose. And luckily I have, look at that curve. It just made like a double clip point, right? So so we're gonna go skin with this one more time, and then I'm gonna file it, and I'm gonna keep it like this because I love this knife so much that I think this is still gonna work for me. It's so fucking funny. Let's keep going. I don't know if you guys are picking this up, but here where I am in Agawam, I have 4 bald eagles flying right over my yard here. Oh, they're freaking beautiful. God bless America. 4 bald eagles. Golly, those are pretty. I hope you guys can get some of that. That's sweet. All right, so here we are. I'm still admiring those eagles. They're still hanging out over there. That's pretty badass. Okay, so here's something too that's really cool. Even after all the abuse and being broken, I can gladly say and honestly say that this is still shave sharp. The hairs are still on there. The hairs are still coming off of there. I mean, it's an anomaly, this freaking knife, right? So here we go again. The tip like this is going in easier than it did originally. I fucking give up. Oh my god, guys, if you want a great skinning knife, break the tip off of this freaking thing, because it got better. So here's the thing. Doing these videos, I've had 3 catastrophic failures. This one I would, well, maybe 2.5, because this is not catastrophic. I actually like this. 2 of them have been Schrade Old Timers, which is crazy because 2 of the best knives I have reviewed were both Schrade. The Extreme Survival and the Frontier are phenomenal knives. I mean, talk about different ends of the spectrum. But this one broke in such an angle that it makes the tip sharper. Alright, so fuck this. I'm not going to the rack. I am finished right here. Schrade Old Timer. If you want a knife that you know you can break and make better, buy this Skinner. Holy shit. YouTube, welcome to my world. Alright, well, I'm Donnie B all day, and until next knife.